All right, Shalom Israel, Yabashim Yashabrak Thumb to the brothers, Yahushamar Thumb Bashim Yahshai to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Parak, holding down the Sabbath Service for the ISUPK coming out of Arizona. If you're watching online, you can see at the bottom of the screen. We'll put it up here for you. Our class location, 12416 North 28th Drive. On suite number 4, right off of the corner of 28th Drive and Cactus. All right. We got classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And every Saturday, our Sabbath service goes from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. Today, we're going to be in the book of Job, the book of Job, chapter 21. All right. Specifically, there's a lot to learn in the book of Job, right? But specifically in the 21st chapter, the title that we're going to be going over is "Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, and are mighty in power?" Right? Why do the wicked get to live old, and why do, like everybody says this all the time in the world, right? Why do the good die young, right? But then you have these sharks and these lunatics that get to live their entire life in wickedness. That's a reason why a lot of people question the Most High. Like a lot of people question the Most High because the wicked are allowed to live and prosper. You got your Rothschilds and you got your, all of these cats that are running the earth right now that are absolutely wicked, right? And we know Job 9:24 says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So why is that? That's cause enough for somebody without wisdom to say, well, I'm not going to believe in a God that would allow this to happen, right? Somebody without wisdom would come to that conclusion and say, you know what, God must not be real because the wicked are the ones with power and the righteous are small and few, right? So today we're going to go into Job, the 21st chapter, and we're going to go into that and really understand why the Most High allows that to happen. Once again, this is something that is extremely important for us to understand in this walk in the truth, because it's easy for us to be, our faith to be shaken, especially when you see we trying to do right and a lot of things come at us. Like Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter tells us that when you come into the truth, you have to prepare yourself for adversity. That doesn't make any sense to the average mind without wisdom, because that makes you, you come into the truth, you think everything, you serving the Most High. You're supposed to be, everything's supposed to just fall into your lap and you're just supposed to be prosperous. That's what you would think, right? But it come to find out when you come into the truth and you start reading this Bible, you realize that when you come into the truth, it gets twice as hard than it was. Right. And then you see the people that was doing the wickedness and they prospering. These drug dealers and these cats that's, going against the laws of God, they're the ones making the money. They're the ones that don't be late on their bills. And you come into the truth and you got it twice as hard as you did before you was in the truth. So we're going to talk about that today. Once again, it's a lot of people that question the Most High because of these things. So we're going to get started. Give me 1 second. All right. Let's pull this up for the people online. All right. We're going to open up with the prayers. So I imagine, which means to stand, and we're going to turn and face the east, which is that way. Panyak with them. We're going to begin off with the prayers. Beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Wadash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Kabah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Rataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemaya, Yathanawa, Lacham, Kal Yawam, Basalakanawa, Kal Wathnawa, Kasalagnawa, Kal Wathinawa, Wala'a, Tabiyanawa, Banasai 1, Abal, Hawashai now, Mayan, Raikaya. Ka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watha Para, I will love you. Amen. In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. I'm going to read the Akkad with the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Baba Kushai.
Baba Kushai.
Lathalan Awahakak.
Lathalan Awahakak.
Hakat Larapa'ah.
Hakat Larapa'ah.
Kal Maka'ala.
Kal Maka'ala.
Wakal Madawa.
Wakal Madawa.
Hakat Latahar.
Hakat Latahar.
Amatazariah.
Amatazariah.
Hakat Lakwayam.
Hakat Lakwayam.
Amathium.
Amathium.
Hakat Arakawa.
Hakat Arakawa.
Atama'ala.
Atama'ala.
Lagar Shun.
Lagar Shun.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Wadaman.
Wadaman.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
We're going to read Psalms 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahaharya.
Ahaharya.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isarya.
Isarya.
Isarya. Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Mawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Kana.
Hana.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yayashun.
Yayashun.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha Allah.
Yasha Allah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Ya.
Al-Ya.
Yanyanka.
Yanyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'a.
La'a.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal Rai.
Makal Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'athka.
Taza'athka.
Wabah.
Wabah.
Wa'aka.
Wa'aka.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Walam.
In English, Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharallah
he that keepeth Yasharallah
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming
from
in
this time forth
from this time forth,
and even forevermore.
even forevermore.
We're going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter in Hebrew. Alahayim,
Allahayim,
Al Dama Yalaka,
Al-Dama Yalaka,
Al Thakaraj,
Al-Thakaraj,
Wa Al Thashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
Al
Al,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awa Yabyaka,
Awayabyaka,
Yahamaya 1,
Yahamaya 1,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Ya'arayamwa,
Ya'arayamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya'itazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Al-Tasapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yasha
Sham
Allah,
Yasha Allah,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nawa Aitazawa,
Nawaitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakhadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakaraswa,
Ahawya,
Ahawya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Yashama Aliyah,
Yashama Ali,
Mawa Abba,
Mawaba,
Wahagarya,
Wagari,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Waima 1,
Waima 1,
Waima Lak,
Waima Lak,
Palashah,
Palashah,
I'm Yeshabi,
I'm Yeshabi,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Gam Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Ayawa,
Naiwa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawa,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Bayash 1,
Bayash 1,
Nashamagwa,
Nashamagwa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dara,
Hayawa,
Dayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yabmawa,
Yamawa,
Ka'ira,
Waira,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakazaba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazal,
Wakatazal,
Mana'ai,
Manai,
Call,
Call,
Messiah Kamwa,
Messiah Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nairashah,
Nairashah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ath, Na'awath,
Nawat,
Alahayim,
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 Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagalgala,
Kagagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Rakah,
Lapanyaraka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wakalahaba,
Wakalahaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Karyam,
Karyam,
Khan,
Khan,
Aradatma,
Aradap,
Basa Iraka,
Basairika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapafka,
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kwalawan,
Kwalawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahal,
Aya'ai,
Ayai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakapar,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabad,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kayatha,
Kayatha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Akal,
Alkal,
Ha'aratazah.
Arat.
Psalms the 83rd chapter in the English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
one.
consulted against thy hidden one.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a
and
nation.
let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah
That the name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the
And
Hagarenes.
the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And
Amalek.
Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of
At
Kasan.
the brook of Kasan.
Which perished that endured.
Which perished and endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zael.
And like Zahab.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Sabbath.
And as Amunah.
And as Amunah.
Who said,
Who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God
the houses of God
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on
And
fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth.
We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Wa Allah Hayim.
Wa Allah Hayim.
Wa Tazab Ya'ah.
Wa Tazab Ya'ah.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Allah Wapyam.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Hasaranyam.
Hasaranyam.
Akwata Zayanyam.
Akwata Zayanyam.
Akaya Yoyam.
Akaya Yoyam.
Wahak Wathim.
Wahak Wathim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
The Waraman.
Waraman.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you. So be it.
Thank you. So be it.
Sorry while you're shopping. You can turn and be seated. Once again, we'll be in Job, the 21st chapter.
24.
21st. 21. Job 21. All right. So I'm going to read 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to be reading from verses 7 to 13. So Job 24. We're going to read, once again, verses 7 through 13. We'll read those in the Hebrew, and then we'll read it in the English. We'll break it down, get some precepts. All right, beginning with verse 7. Arawam, Eliawam, Mabawal, Labawash, Wayan, Kasaya, Bakara, verse 8, Mazaram, Haryam, Yaratawa, Wama'aya, Makasa, Kawabal, Tazawar, verse 9, Yagazlakim, Yagazawa, Mashad, Yathawam, Wa'al, Ainaya, verse 10, Arawam, Halagwa, Balya, Salakia, Labawash, Wara'ayawam, Wara'ibwam, Nashawa, Imar, verse 11, Bayan, Shawar Thumb, Itazawa, Salakia, Iquab Yum, the Ragwa, verse 12, Ma'arya, Ma'yar, Mathayam, Yanaqua, Wanapash, Hakala, Hakalyam, Thashawai, Walawa, La'a, Yashayam, Thapala, verse 13, Hama, Hayawa, Bamaradakya, Slaki, Bamaradiyah, Awar, La'a, Hakayara, Darakiwa, Wala'a, Yashabwa, Bayath, Yabathiwa. All right, so that was verses 8 through 13. 7 through 13. Let's read those in English. Yeah, so Job 21. And we'll start at verse 7. And we're going to break this up. We're going to read all of those verses, but we're going to break this up. We'll get some precepts in between. Somebody go hold for me, Job, the 9th chapter. But you can start off at Job 21 and 7.
The book of Job, chapter 21, verse 7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, are mighty in power?
Why is Job asking this question? Job is asking this question. He said, wherefore is it's an old English term for why. Why do the wicked live, become old, and they prosper, and they're mighty in power? Job is asking this question, why? Because Job is being persecuted by the Most High for seemingly no reason. If anybody knows about the story of Job, we understand that Job was a righteous man. He was righteous in the sight of the Most High, although he was punished for, once again, seemingly no reason. Satan came to the Most High and told the Most High, hey, this man right here, the only reason he served you is because you are good to him. So he ain't got no reason to have any evil towards you, any evil mind towards you. But let me take some away from him. Let me take his wife, his family, his kids, his money, his riches, all of that away from him. And he's going to curse you to your face. That's what Satan said to the Most High. The Most High said, you know what? I'll allow you to do that because I have faith in this servant, in my servant Job. The Most High allows Satan to come against Job, and Job lost everything. But in the 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter of Job, it says that Job, in all of this, he never cursed the Most High with his lips. After all he lost, he was a righteous brother. Now, this don't mean that it wasn't 40 chapters after that where he's questioning why is this happening to him, right? And sometimes that might happen to us in our walk in the truth. Sometimes we might question the Most High, and that's something that happens. Like the Most High is our Father. I always stress that the Most High is our Father. And sometimes you question why your Father does the things that he does, right? And so Job is doing this right now. In the 21st chapter, he's asking, why do the wicked get to prosper? Why do they get to live and grow old? They don't lose none of their kids. They grow up and they got legacies in their family where they got what they call generational wealth. Why do they get that, but I don't? My kids is dying. That's a question to be asked. And there's nothing wrong with that. The difference in asking the question and getting the solution is big because we have to have the solution. We have to have the answer to that question. So why do they become old? And they're mighty in power and they become rich, right? Give me Job 9 and 24. This will give you the answer, and then we're going to dive deep down into it and understand it.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. I'm
going to break this down into 2 parts, really 3 parts. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the earth, this entire planet is given into the hand of the wicked. What is this talking about? It's talking about the fact that who governs this earth? If this earth was governed by Christ, would this earth function this way? Absolutely not, right? So who actually governs this place? The wicked. Our oppressor governs this place. And that's why you see war all throughout this place. You see famine, you see destitution. Everything that you see is a product of the wicked people that run this place. Right. And why is that? That's by design. The Lord allowed this thing to happen. And once again, we're going to answer this question in class today. Why would an omnipotent being, the Most High God, allow something like that to happen? Why would a God that's supposed to be so righteous allow the wicked to have authority over the earth? We're going to answer that question today, right? The second part of it is, it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who's supposed to be the judges of this earth? The Israelites. Like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as destitute and trodden down and beaten up as we are, We are supposed to be the judges of this earth. That's what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that we're the saints of this place. But what happens? The wicked are governing this earth, and they cover up the faces of the judges thereof. So they cover up. They what they do is they call us black, Negro, Afro-American, African-American. They call us Hispanic or Latino. They call us savages. They call us all of those things. Why? Because they can't call us Israelites. If we do that, if we know what we're called and what we are supposed to be, then we will be the judges of this earth. That's the whole point of this movement. Since 1969, we have come out with this movement to make sure that we can bring our brothers and sisters back to where they're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in a place that's a governing authority in this earth. But because the wicked covereth the faces of the judges of this earth, the wicked are in authority in this place, right? We also know in the book of Proverbs, the scriptures say that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. If you look around this earth, you see that this earth is in mourning. Why? Because the wicked are the ones that are in authority in this place, right? Read that from the top if you don't mind. 9 and 24.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Mm-hmm.
If not, where and who is he?
Now hold for me Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Job asked this question. He said, if not, where and who is he? This is something that we use all the time. We ask you this same question. If our oppressor, this adversary that we face in America today, if he's not the devil, then who is he? Who's the devil? Right? Who is our adversary? It's not each other, although we make it seem to be, although we fight each other day in and day out. You understand? Brothers fighting against brothers, our brothers fighting against our sisters fighting back. You understand? We make ourselves each other's adversary, but really we have an adversary, a common adversary. But we neglect that to fight each other. So Job is asking the question, if it ain't this man, then who is it? Right? Now, I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all how we really are our own worst enemy outside of our adversary, our oppressor. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Let's start off here. Once again, we're going to talk about wherefore do the wicked live, become old, and are mighty in power. We're going to ask that question, and we're going to answer it all today. All right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
I command who?
Thee.
Just understand something. Before we even get started with this lesson, understand that the Most High, when he was dealing with us in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all through the first 5 books of the Bible, every book after that, we find that the Most High is only dealing with the children of Israel. So he's saying to us, if we will keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, right? The same commandments that he's delivered unto us, right? He's going to do what? Keep reading.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So now, once again, I always stress this, that the Most High is a father, right? Don't this sound like what a father would tell you? Hey, if you get good grades, I'll take you to the candy store. I'll buy you all the candy you want. If you get good grades, I'll buy you that new scooter that you want. This is the Most High. You got to understand, the Most High is bigger than us. We can't never put ourselves on the same level as the Most High. He's our father, and we're just like that child that wants that candy at that candy store. You understand? We the same kid that's begging for that scooter. You understand? It's begging for that bicycle or whatever that we want, right? The Most High is telling us he'll give us those things, but only if we do what he tells us to do. It's very simple, right? And the Most High is telling us this. Why? Everybody, I don't care who you are, you need motivation to do the right thing. Otherwise, everybody will do the wrong thing. One thing we're going to find out today is that we are the only nation on the face of this planet that has been given the motivation to do the right thing, right? Every other nation, they haven't been given these laws, statutes, and commandments. They didn't get this promise. This promise wasn't extended to them. So they don't have no reason to be righteous. They don't have any reason to do well. Listen, and I don't blame them for it. I expect them to be as wicked as possible, step on every toe, step on everybody that they can to get to the highest place on the earth, because the Most High is going to eventually give it to us when we get in our proper place. But we have to follow what we're reading right now. Deuteronomy 28 and 2. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And overtake thee. Go ahead.
if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. If we listen to the voice of our Father, we are going to be overtaken with blessings. Once again, here we are today in 2023 in America, and we find ourselves overtaken with nothing but plagues, nothing but death, right? And we're going to find out why that is. Remember, the Lord just told us he'll bless us and set us upon high above all the other nations, only if we keep his law, statutes, and commandments, keep his instruction, right? Give me verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And overtake thee. Once again, this is a night and day difference. We understand that the Most High, this is textbook father. This is a textbook father right here, right? He is telling you, if you do what I tell you to do, you'll get anything you want. I'll give you the world. But if you disobey me, like any good father, I'm going to punish you. And we could be overtaken with blessings, but instead, right now, what we see is we're being overtaken by the curses. That's what's happening to us right now, right? Now, take me back to Job, the 21st chapter. I'm just trying to line y'all up so we can understand why the wicked get to prosper and why we suffer. We're going to get all the way through to the bottom of this thing, right? Give me Job 21 and 8.
Book of Job, chapter 21, verse 8. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes.
Why is Job? Once again, remember where Job is coming from. Job is coming from a place where his children. Now you can go back to Deuteronomy 28 for me. You can hold it. We're going to kind of be back and forth between Deuteronomy 28 and here, right? Job is in a place where he lost all his children, and he's a righteous brother. The scriptures is calling him a righteous brother. We know that this is a righteous man. But why is he? So he's asking, why is the wicked, they allowed to watch their children grow up? But I had to watch my children die. And here we are in America facing the same problems. Don't you know that Yashar Allah means prince of the power? Our sisters are princesses of the power, meaning we are the princes and princesses under the Most High God. We're supposed to be on the highest level, but somehow we watch our children die. You understand? And there's a reason for that, right? Give me verse 32. And I'm going to read this real quick. In Job 21 and 8, it says, their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. They get to see their children grow old. That dude, what's that cat over there in the United Kingdom? What's his name? Prince Charles? Is that his name? The old dude? That cat is old as hell. He's like 90 something. He gets to see his children grow up and prosper in front of his eyes. We don't live to be that old. We dying at 50 and 60. And we get to listen, we get to live to 50 and 60 and probably see 2 or 3 of our children die before us. That's what's happening to us. So why do they, if we're supposed to be, now this is the question that we have to ask. If we're supposed to be the princes and the princesses of the Most High, of the power, why are we dying? Why are we seeing our children die? But these people that the Most High says he hates, they get to live old. There's a reason for that, right? So this is kind of like a Q&A type of thing. Job was asking the question, why they get to see their kids grow up and we don't? Deuteronomy 28 and 32.
Is it Deuteronomy 28, sir?
Yep, and verse 32.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Now remember, this is an extension of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, in the 15th verse. This is if we disobey the Most High, he's going to put these curses on us. And this is part of the curses. Now, from verse 1 to verse 14, there's nothing but blessings. Sounds good, right? But then from verse 15 all the way to verse 68, that's a lot more curses. And that's a lot more evil that the Lord can do to you because you've strayed away from keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. This is part of it, right? Part of it is, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Go ahead.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And you're going to look for your children. You're not going to be able to find them because they're gone. Keep going.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
And this is the part of that verse that could bring a brother and a sister to tears, right? Because there shall be no might in thine hand. There's nothing you could do about it. Now, this is something that's crafty about America real quick while we talk about it, right? In a time, you had your 1700s, 1800s, and early 1900s where you had like chattel slavery going on. And this was something that you could literally see with your own eyes. You could see your sons and your daughters being taken away from you, and there's nothing you could do about it. You could try to go after them. You could do whatever you want. The problem is you're not going to be able to get to them because there's no might in your hand. This is part of the curses. But this is also something that's happening today in a much more craftier way. Our oppressor has made it to where they take our children away from us in a lot more of a crafty way. Your children are in your house, but they are taken away from you at the same time because they're taken away by the things that they see on TV. They're taken away by the music that they listen to. They're taken away by what their friends at high school or in middle school or whatever are teaching them. You understand? So you lose your children before you physically lose. You lose them mentally, right, and emotionally before you lose them physically. That's something that happens in America, right? And this is part of the curses. Why is that happening right now? Because we've disobeyed the Most High. Now, white kids, they get to be whatever they want to be. They go home to their mother and their father, and they're gonna go to college. They're gonna be prosperous, right? And they're gonna be seemingly in a better position than the rest of us. I'm gonna show y'all something. Take me back to Job, the 21st chapter, and then let's keep reading. Give me verse 8.
This is the book of Job, chapter 21, verse 8. And it's like their seed is established in the sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Their houses are safe from fear.
Mm-hmm.
Neither is the rod of God upon them.
Right. So now their houses are safe. Remember, this is the question we have to ask. Why is this happening? The wicked, the people that should be getting punished by God, their houses are safe from fear. They ain't got to fear day or night. Give me Deuteronomy 28 again and give me verse 66. They don't have to fear the punishment. The scriptures say right here, neither is the rod of God upon them. They're not worried about what the Lord is going to do to punish them because the Lord isn't punishing them. They're like the Prince Charles who has your Joe Biden right now, who is old and decrepit, right? And he's somehow the president of the United States of America. This man is, he's lost his mind. He's not all the way there. He's running America. And this same man came out with the crime bill in the 90s to lock up black people intentionally. And we can see this all throughout history. We can see what they've done to try to incriminate us and put us away. There's a whole campaign against the black man in America. But somehow they're allowed to grow old, so old that they shouldn't even be in office right now. Like Joe Biden shouldn't be the president of the United States because he can't even really hold a conversation. But somehow he's able to be as old as he is in that position of authority. And the Most High ain't strike them dead yet. That's the question that Job is asking, right? So it's once again, this is something that we have to go through and understand why this is happening, right? So give me Deuteronomy 28 and 66. So once again, their houses are safe from fear, and the Lord's rod of correction is not upon them, right? Go ahead. Deuteronomy 28 and 66. So, sir, can you read for me?
What's it again?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28 and 66.
Deuteronomy 28?
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
Right, we'll have no assurance of our life. This is one of the curses that come upon us. Now, I'm going to explain something to y'all. This is a curse that comes upon us because we have disobeyed our Father. But the other nations, if somebody could get for me Psalms, I think 147th chapter, Bible shot, right? The other nations, they don't obey God. They don't read this Bible and say, hey, I'm going to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. They don't do that. And somehow they don't get punished, but we do. I'm going to explain to y'all why it is that we're the ones that are being punished and they're not. And it's going to give you a sense of security and peace in understanding why they don't get punished and we do. Give me Psalms 147 and verse 19. I think that's what I want.
Psalms chapter 147, verse
19.
Verse 19. He shows his word into Jacob, his statutes and his judgments into Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
Mm-hmm.
And as for his judgments.
As for his what?
His judgments.
As for his judgments, go ahead.
They have not known them.
So they have not known them. This is talking about the other nations. The other nations haven't known the Most High's judgments. What is a judgment? A judgment is a punishment or a corrective action or, a solution to a problem. The Most High doesn't judge the other nations the way he judges us. I'm going to give y'all the perfect analogy to understand the way the Most High deals with us. I don't know how many people in here got kids, but I want y'all to understand something. If you have a child, you tell your child what's right and wrong, right? You tell your child, hey, do this, don't do that. You give them laws, statutes, commandments. That's what you do as a father or as a mother, right? Now, if your child comes home, let's say you give your child the job of, let's say, taking out the trash, twice a week, whatever, right? Now, he go to school, and he got friends at school that say, you got to take the trash out at home? Oh, I don't have to do that. My parents tell me that they can take out the trash. I don't have to do that. So now your son comes home and tells you, hey, them other kids at my school, they say they don't have to take out the trash. Why should I have to take out the trash? You know what your response as a good parent is going to be? Them ain't my kids. I'm not telling them to take out the trash. I'm telling you to take out the trash. It don't matter what they doing. We all have heard this if we got black mothers and fathers in here. If all of your friends wanted to jump off a cliff, you going to do it too? No, right? But I'm telling you not to jump off the cliff. I'm telling you what to do. And that's the same way the Father works. So now that's what this scripture is talking about. This scripture is telling us that the Most High, he didn't give these laws and instructions to the other nations. So they can do whatever they want. They can eat all of the pork they want. We can't. They can celebrate Christmas and Halloween and all of those holidays that's coming up, but we can't. They're not in sin. They can do whatever they want because we are the Most High's children, and we're the ones that have been given the instruction by the Most High, right? So why, now once again, this takes us back to our topic, right? So now why do they get away with it and we can't? They're not the Most High's kids. They not that. Once again, I don't care what they're doing. I care what you're doing as my son. And that's the same thing that the Most High is telling us. They're not the ones that was given these laws, statutes, and commandments. They can do all of the drugs they want, get high. They can do all of the wickedness throughout the year that they always do anyway. We can't partake in it because those are just some other kids up the block. We got to stay at home with pops, right? So now let's go back to Job 21. Go back to Job 21, and let's read verse 10. You got it? Job 21 and verse 10.
Chapter 21, verse 10. Their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf.
Right. So now, on top of them being prosperous in many other ways, being able to see their children prosper, they also have prosperous cattle. I'm gonna show y'all something. Give me back to Deuteronomy 28. This is, once again, like I said, we're going back and forth. This is a question and an answer, right? Why do they get to see their children grow up? We got the answer for that. They wasn't given the law, so their children get to do whatever they want. They can step on all of the toes and become CEOs of Apple. Your Steve Jobs stepped on every toe that he could to get to the top position that he was until he died, right? Elon Musk, he stepped on every toe possible to get to the position that he's in, to where he can launch spacecrafts into the outside the atmosphere. Why was he able to do that? And why are we not able to do that? Because he was able to do it wickedly. We can't. When we try to do it, we fail. Right? Now let me show y'all something with this, right? They're bull generous, meaning this is really, it's literal, but it's symbolic at the same time, right? This is still just talking about how prosperous they are. They're bull gendereth. What does it mean when a bull genders? It means that bull is creating more babies, more bulls, more food for you to sell, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 49.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29.
49.
49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Mm-hmm. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And we have to understand something about this. We know, right, that this is a prophetic scripture that's talking about America, right? It's talking about the fact that a nation came against us when we was in the west coast of Africa and when we were scattered abroad, that they came with a tongue or a language that we couldn't understand, and they took us into captivity, right? Keep going, verse 50.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, no show favor to the young.
Right, they're not gonna care about. Listen, they don't got no respect of persons. If you old and broken down, and you about skin and bones, ain't got no muscle on your bones, they gonna snatch you up the same way they're gonna snatch a fully healthy man, and they're gonna do the same thing to a little baby. That's because they don't show no respect to old nor young. Go ahead.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
And he shall do what?
Eat the fruit of thy cattle.
And he's going to eat the fruit of thy cattle, meaning what? Your bulls are going to gender, which is what we just read in the book of Job. Your bulls will gender, but you won't get any of the benefit from that. If your bulls is making babies, you know what that means? You got milk. That means that you got meat to sell. That means that you have some money to bring in. But the Most High told us that if we don't follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, it don't matter what we do, nothing will come to fruit for us. It'll be fruit for everybody else. This is the Most High. Once again, the Most High is making us jealous of the other nations. And that's what we see in the book of Job. Job is jealous. He like, well, why do they get to do this and I can't? Why do they get to prosper and I'm as righteous as I could possibly be as a human, but they are prosperous and I'm not? I got everything ripped out from under my hands. Right? Let's keep going.
In the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
Right, he's not going to leave nothing for you. So now, once again, the other nations, they get to do whatever they want with our stuff, with the things. When we go to work every day, we're not working for ourselves. That's what's happening, right? Kabbalah Moth was teaching a class like this, I believe on Wednesday. No, I believe it was on Thursday, right? Talking about the fact that even when we have our own businesses, we still not working for ourselves. You know what I mean? Why? This is part of the curses that we've been put under because of our disobedience to the Most High. Take me back to Job 20:21. Let's read verse 11.
Book of Job, chapter 21, verse 11. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance.
This is talking about the other nations. Job is asking this question. He like, damn, my children got ripped from under my hand, but everybody else, the wicked, we talking about the wicked, the people that don't serve the most, they don't have a covenant with God. They don't have a covenant with God, but they get to do whatever they want. They get to watch their children grow up, and they send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They get to just y'all ever see how these white people get to raise their children, and they just get to go. Listen, on a Tuesday afternoon when we all at work, they in the park watching their kids on the swing set, and they just frolicking and skipping and jumping around and having the time of their lives. They're like, God damn, I got to work a construction job. I got to be in a call center. I got to be somewhere making little to no money. And these cats is able to take off from work and go watch their children play. But my whole children's lives are passing me by because I got to work all day. I got to work 12-hour shifts so I can make ends meet. You know, that's a question that's good to ask. Listen, Job is not asking stupid questions. He's not asking dumb questions. These are very important questions to ask. Why is the Lord allowing them to raise their children, be able to instill all of that? Now, the other nations, they don't have morals the way that we have morals, but they still instill whatever that they have. They instill in their children. They can mold their children. Rap music ain't raising white kids. You understand? Like movies and TV shows, they're not raising white kids. You know what happens? If that man is at work, at least that white woman is at home training them kids to be whatever she wants them kids to be. She's going to train them kids up in the way that she wants them to go. because they have that luxury. Why can't we have that luxury? That's the question that Job is asking. You understand? You had something?
Rap music, if anything, if it's training their offspring, it's training them to do exactly what they say in them damn videos.
Mm-hmm.
Going into schools, and because Becky didn't take them to your damn prom, they're shooting everyone in sight.
Yeah. Well, you know what the thing is about that is funny because even like when you got these white kids that are like the school shooters and all of that, they're being trained by their parents to not be able to accept rejection. Blacks and Hispanics, we can just accept rejection because we've been rejected day in and day out forever since we can remember. And so now we just get used to it. You understand? And it's not a big deal, which it shouldn't be. But for white people, because they're so privileged and because they're used to getting what they want, that cat, what's that cat that shot up that school? I can't remember his name. It's so many damn white school shooters. I've lost count. One of them cats, he shot up the school because a woman rejected him. So he shot up like 20 people in the school. They couldn't handle rejection. But you know what? Who taught him that? It wasn't rap music. It was his mother and his father. They throw fits when they don't get what they want. And usually by them throwing fits when they don't get what they want, they get what they want. You understand? And that's where their children learn that from. They're allowed to bring their children up in any type of whatever their moral status is or moral code or whatever you want to call it is. They bring their children up in that. We're not even allowed to do that because we work the 12-hour shift, come home, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing the next day. So Job is asking that question. He like, why do they get to raise their kids and I can't? I got to let the daycare raise my kids. I got to let the school raise my kids. You understand? I got to let TV and rap music raise my kids. He's asking that question, right? Keep going.
What verse is it?
We in Job 21:11. We just finished 11.
They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. They take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ.
Mm-hmm. These kids is happy. They got their parents. You know, and we got to look at that, right? Because why are Black and Hispanic children so downtrodden, beat up, and just sad all the goddamn times and angry? People always ask this question about Black people, like, well, why are y'all just so angry all the time? Because it is. Like, the curses are upon us. And so our parents didn't get to raise us. You understand? Our parents didn't get to raise us the way that a white parent could. Because white people, they don't have to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. So, and the rod of the Lord's correction is not on them. So they can do whatever they want. But for our people, we can't. We're definitely what's the word that we're working a tight ship. You understand? And the problem with that is that our children grow up malnourished of education, malnourished physically, emotionally. Like we get raised up by exterior sources. Our mother and our father wasn't able to raise us the way that they could. So they ask us, why are you so mad? Why are we so violent? Why is there so much Black on Black crime? Why don't Black women love Black men and vice versa? Why is that? Well, that's because that's what we've been taught. Because our parents weren't able to raise us. You understand? It's by design. However, these other nations, them kids, they skipping and they are as giddy as possible, right? It says they take the timbrel and the harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They're the ones, they go into them violin recitals and they just live in the time of their life, right? Right? Keep going, verse 13.
They spend their days in wealth.
In wealth, right? They're rich. They don't want for anything. They don't want for anything. Like we struggling in the world, we struggling to buy our kids Christmas presents. You understand? And the white kids, you turn 15, 16, they got a Benz, a Mercedes Benz with a bow on it. Here's your Christmas gift, son. That's what they get. We getting coal in our goddamn, what do you call those things? And them things for Christmas, whatever those things is called. We getting coal for Christmas. That's what we get. Even, this comes from, Biggie Smalls. He said birthdays was the worst days. Why? Because on our birthdays, when we supposed to be getting the most extravagant things and the best gifts, we're not getting nothing. Kids gonna laugh at you. What you get for your birthday? Oh, nothing. My parents is broke. They couldn't afford nothing for me. They laughing at you. You rocking with the Reeboks. You got the Shaqs on instead of the Nikes. The kids is gonna laugh at you, right? But the white kids come to school with the freshest. They wear them short, the little golfer shorts, driving up to school in their Audis and their Benzes. They live their lives in wealth. Go ahead.
And in a moment, go down to the grave.
And in a moment, go down to the grave. That's the part that we got to get to. This is the part that's going to make us understand why they get to live their lives the way that they live their lives. They get to live their lives in wealth. They do whatever they want until they die. We got to understand something about these people. The Lord didn't give them the instructions that he gave us. So therefore, they don't get the punishments for breaking those instructions. However, we do. Once again, if the Lord is our Father, he's not punishing the dope seller up the street. That cat's going to sell dope until the police get him. His father's not going to come up that street and pick him up off that corner and say, hey, stop doing that. He's not going to do that. He's going to tell you, hey, don't go around them dope dealers. Don't be a part of that. And he's going to get you off that street. The other cats, they got their own fathers. The other nations, they have their own governing gods. They follow Roman customs. They follow the customs of every other nation. Let them do that. Let their God save them. But as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. And the Lord is going to be the one that's going to get us off of that street. He's going to say, you know what? I'm not going to allow you to be the dope dealer like the other nations. It's not in our nature. We always talk about this, right? It's not in our nature to be dope dealers and to be gangsters. That's not something that is black culture. Although that's what the world will make it seem like it's normal for black people to be dope dealers, to be so focused on, dealing with a bunch of women and having, sex and all of those things. Like our minds are so trained towards doing things that are against the Bible. But that's not black culture. Black culture, if we read in this Bible, black culture is righteousness. But then you have your Al Capones, which is your Italians. You have your your Gottis and all of these people that are the other nations that are the real gangbangers. They're the ones that we learn from, right? We learn how to be gangbangers from the Irish mob, from the Italian mob, from the Chinese mob. We learn how to be gangbangers from them. All of the criminal activities that we partake in today is not black culture. Black culture is righteousness, but we follow the other nations and they do the things that are against God. Why? Because they weren't given the instructions. And we follow them instead of following our power, right? Look, give me, if you don't mind, give me Zechariah the 11th chapter real quick. Matter of fact, no, don't even worry about it. Let me get Job 21 and 14.
Job 21, verse 14. Therefore they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways.
What was this talking about? Once again, it's talking about the other nations. They don't care about having the knowledge of the Most High. Like they don't want. See, we look at it. This is the problem with us. We look at keeping the law, statutes, and commandments as a burden. We look at it like that. Like, damn, I can't eat this. I can't celebrate these holidays. I can't do this. I can't do that. A bunch of can'ts and won'ts and don'ts and don't do this and don't do that. All of that seems like a burden to us. And the other nations, they looking like, they looking like it the same way. They're like, I don't want to do that. They say, I don't want none of that knowledge. They say, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. They don't want this, and we have a gift. I just taught this like a week ago, right? The truth is a gift. This ain't something that you can pay for. Simon tried to pay for the truth in the book of Acts, I believe the 12th chapter, right? He tried, or the 8th chapter, excuse me. He tried to pay for the truth. You can't pay for this. There's no amount of money that you could dish out and get the truth. There's a gift that the Most High can give you, and you can receive it or not. The Lord said that he can make you a reprobate. He can make you never understand this, and you just never come into the truth. And you could just be them niggas that's around the corner right now, smoking that fentanyl, falling asleep all throughout the day, and waking up. Anytime you wake up, you're just going to hit some more of that fentanyl and fall right back to sleep. That could be your life, right? But the Lord say that he can make you something that you never thought you could be, right? Let's matter of fact, you keep reading there.
Verse 15. What is the Almighty that we should serve him?
This is what they say. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? Go ahead.
And what profit shall we have if we pray unto him?
Now, give me 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter in the Apocrypha. It's Apocrypha right here. This is a good question. The other nations asked the question. They said, what is the Almighty that we should serve him, and what profit should we have if we pray unto him? This is a good question, because what will be the point in the other nations praying to a God that doesn't even recognize them? That's a good question.
What chapter?
2nd Ezra 3, and let's read verse 36.
Second Ezra, chapter 3, verse
36.
Verse 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name had kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
This is the perfect precept to understand. This goes right along with Psalms 147 and 19 and 20, right? The other nations weren't given these laws and instructions. Why the hell are we expecting them to keep any sort of righteousness? They should, and I stand by this, they should be as wicked as humanly possible. They should be as wicked as possible. Why? I mean, they're going to be judged anyway, and they know it. They know it. They know what's coming to them. That's why you had Trump instilling that Space Force. They trying to. The scriptures say, and this is what's so heavy about that Space Force. The scriptures say that when Christ returns, the nations will be at war with each other, but they will stop fighting each other to fight God. When Christ returns with the legion of angels that he's coming with and all of those chariots, they're going to stop fighting each other and they're going to fight Christ and his angels. That's what's going to happen. That's a prophetic scripture that's going to happen. And we see them gearing up and ramping up for it right now. They are ready to fight God. That's what they're ready to do. That's how pompous and, inhumane these people are, right? But we have to understand something. That's what they should do. I get on our oppressor for being the devil that the Bible speaks of all day and night. However, I don't blame them for being the devil. That's what they are by nature. That's how they are. So they are going to fight against Christ when Christ returns. They're going to have to do it. I mean, that's what they got to go down fighting, right? But the reason why is because they don't have any benefit in serving God. They don't get any mercy for keeping a Sabbath day. The Lord didn't tell them to keep a Sabbath day. You understand? The Lord didn't tell them to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. The Lord didn't tell them to do none of those things. So the Lord's not going to recognize it if they do it. Right? Let's keep reading. Go back to Job 21. Right? So just to understand, right, 2nd Ezra 3 and 36 says, thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. The heathen can't keep the law. They can't, because the law wasn't given to them. We got to understand that. Stop holding these oppressors to a righteous level. Like they're supposed to be better than they are. They're supposed to be what they are. They're exactly what they should be. Everybody says the system is broken. The system ain't broken. The system was built this way. They're supposed to be corrupt. That's what they're supposed to be. The scriptures say, the Most High said it himself. He said that these people, the other nations, are vessels that were built for destruction. That's hard to understand. A lot of people can't understand the way the Most High's mind works. But these people were built to be destroyed. That's it. That's it. That's like y'all ever play Jenga? You put them things up, build that thing up, and then by the end of the game, the point is for that thing to fall down. That's the point. That's what the Most High did with these white people. He made them to be destroyed eventually. That's what happened, bro. That's what's going on. Right? Let's keep reading. You had something, Mark?
The reason why the Most High is raising them up, just like we know he did Egypt, is so that he can destroy them. Because the Most High, just like a black man, he likes to flex. And he wants all of the people on earth to know who in the hell he is and what he does when he's pissed off about some slack.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny that you say that. That's actually perfect to bring out. In Romans the 9th chapter, it talks about for the same cause, the Most High raised up Pharaoh just to destroy him. That's what the Most High do. So is it so far-fetched that he would do that to an entire nation of people? No. It's not that far-fetched. Especially when this nation of people, you can go all throughout the Bible and realize that this nation of people deserves to be destroyed. And so when we started to question the Most High, like, why would you even allow this nation of people to do this to us? Just know that the Most High, his ways are not our ways.
Right.
The Most High is going to take this nation of people out. Let's keep reading though. Let's get Job 20. Let me see. Job 21 and verse 16. Hey, yes, mm-hmm. Job 21 and verse 16.
The book of Job, chapter 21, verse 16.
And for those of us that go to camp, this chapter is a good chapter to read. Job, the 21st chapter, you can, your whole camp speaking, if you want to make it, if you got to be up at speaking at camp for an hour or two, this chapter, you can just read this chapter.
Right.
It's going to get you through your entire camp speaking because there's so much information that you can bring out just based off of what Job is talking about, right? I just want to throw that in there, right? But let's read verse 16.
Book of Job, chapter 21, verse 16. Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out?
How often is the candle of the wicked put out? What's a candle represent? Light, liveliness, life, right?
Right.
How often is the candle of the wicked put out? Hey, they might live to be. This is one thing we got to understand. Matter of fact, I got to do this. Let's get to real quick. I wasn't even planning on bringing this out, but let's go to 2 Maccabees in the Apocrypha. 2 Maccabees. Let's read this real quick. 2 Maccabees. Let me see. I think chapter 11, I believe. I'm about to find it. 1 second. Forgive me. No, it might be 13. I'm tripping. Let me see. Let me see. Give me 1 second. It's locked. All right, this is going to be 2 Maccabees 7. I'm sorry. 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter. I'm going to show y'all something. Give me verse 9.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 11 and verse 9. Then they praised the merciful God.
Second Maccabees 7 and 9.
Chapter 7, verse 9. It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 9. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fury takest us out of this present life.
Just to understand, let's get the context of this story, right? I'd read this whole story right now if I had the time. But this story is talking about there were 7 brothers and their mother. And these brothers ranged anywhere from the ages of under 10 years old to their 20s, right? And these 7 brothers was being persecuted. This is at the time of the Greek occupation, all right? The Greek occupation of Jerusalem, where the Greeks came in. They destroyed our temples. They were sacrificing swine's flesh in our temples, all types of disgusting things. And it was unlawful for us to follow our God. It was unlawful. You couldn't keep, like what we're doing right now, we couldn't keep the Sabbath day. We couldn't go out and teach it on the street. We couldn't have a Bible in our hands. We couldn't go back to following our Father. That's what this time was. And at this time, there was a king at the time that told these 7 brothers, they gathered these 7 brothers and their mother together and said, listen, I'm going to kill y'all unless y'all eat this piece of pork. I'm going to put this piece of pork on this table. Now, we all understand Leviticus, the 11th chapter, tells us that we can't eat pork. Right. That's against the law of our Father. Right. It's against God. Right. So we understand that. He puts the piece of pork on the table, and this is what our oppressor does as a power move, basically to get us to make him our God. In the stead of our Father, to throw away our God, our power, our Father, and make him our God instead. Because if we submit to him, now we begin to worship him like a God, right? So anyway, this is what happened. These brothers and their mother said, no, we're not going to eat that over a piece of pork. I'm talking about a piece of swine's flesh that was cooked. They said, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to eat it. Why? Because I'm not going to transgress the law of my forefathers for you, for some white man, some Grecian. I'm not going to do that, right? So now, this is one of the brothers. One of the brothers, they all 7 of these brothers was righteous and honorable, and they said honorable things before they died. They all eventually died. Some of these brothers got thrown in a cauldron and got cooked to death. Some of these brothers got their limbs chopped off. You know, it was a terrible thing, but these brothers decided that death was better than transgressing their God. One of these brothers said this. Now, that was just the context, right? So now one of these brothers said this. He said he was at the last gasp, right? He was on his way out. He was finna die. Thou like a fury. Go ahead.
And thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life.
He said, thou like a fury, like you're angry that we serve our God because you want us to serve you.
Right.
So you like a fury, you take us out of this present life, but the King of the world, the Most High, he's going to raise us up. This is where we understand regeneration. You can kill me right now. I'm going to regenerate back into this earth. And the Lord is going to righteously regenerate me back into this earth under righteousness. I'm going to be raised up because I died for righteousness. I'm going to be raised up in righteousness, right? Why? Because we died for his laws. That's a righteous thing to do. Now, why am I bringing this up here, right? One thing that we have to understand is that this brother understood that Grecian. Matter of fact, let me see 1 second. I want to find, there's a spot where one of these brothers, let me see. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Well, we'll just read, we'll leave it like that for now. But one thing that this brother understood is that this man that was putting him to death, the Lord is not going to have mercy on him. Like the Lord is like, we have to understand that man, that king, that Grecian king, he lived a lot longer than that brother did. That brother died that night, right then. But that brother understood that the Lord was going to regenerate him into a righteous bloodline. That king, he's going to live the rest of his years. He'll live to be 90-something. But he's going to die, and he's going to, what the scriptures say, he's going to be judged for the things that he did to the Lord's chosen people. We got to understand that. That's part of understanding the spirituality of this Bible, right? Take me back to Job 21. Let me see where I want to go. Yeah, give me finish off verse 17.
It's the book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 17. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out? And how oft cometh their destruction upon them? How
often, right? You got to understand this. I don't give a damn if Prince Charles lived to be 150, right? He's going to face his punishment and his judgment. That's what we have to comfort ourselves in. Listen, a wicked life lived, 150 years is not better than a righteous life lived 20 years. You have to understand that this walk that we have in this truth, brothers died for this thing. Abba Bivens died for this thing at really a young age. You understand? But his life that he lived on this earth was far more precious than the life of a Prince Charles that lives to be 120 years old. That man is wrinkled up and decrepit, and he did a lot of wickedness in his life. Go ahead.
That damn devil looks crispy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks as though if you ran a cheese grater across his skin, you would end up with Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks crunchy like crinkle cut.
Good night. But you have to understand that that's only a signification of a symbolic that's what that's what they're destined for.
Yeah.
You understand? Like you said, like we all understand that our oppressor ages like moldy cheese. You understand? Go ahead. Yeah, damn right. And that's only symbolic as to what their destiny is for the wickedness that they have contributed to this earth. Remember, Job 9:24 says that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. That don't mean that the Lord loves them. That don't mean nothing like that. That means that the Lord picked the wickedest group of people to say, you know what? You go ahead and you control all of the banks. You control everything. And you know what? You're going to deny blacks and Hispanics from getting a business loan. You're going to deny them from getting into a home. That's where redlining comes from. You're going to do all of that evil. They're an instrument of the Lord, only to be punished. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Ecclesiastes real quick. Instruments of, let me see, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I believe it's vessel of destruction. Let me see something real quick. Give me Romans 9:22. Yep.
The book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
Now he said, "What?" Now this is Paul talking, right? Paul is saying, "What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?" So what is this talking about? Go ahead. Resume.
The scripture is talking specifically about what's going to happen when the entire earth witnesses a nation that is so evil. Like what happened with George Floyd echoed across the entire earth. Every race that was connected to the internet saw how evil this race of individuals are. And they all said, "What that right there is crazy." The Most High is watching the entire thing. Mm-hmm. So that when he brings judgment down upon their heads, nobody is questioning, why did this happen? Right. Everybody's going to know you deserve it.
But this is the spirit behind this scripture. Remember, what if God, willing to show his wrath, what does willing to show his wrath mean?
He wants to.
He wants to, right? And to make his power known means what? He wants to make his power known. We saw that with Pharaoh. We saw that. Listen, the Most High endured. He made 10 plagues come upon the land of Egypt when he could have just snapped his finger and said, "Hey, kill Pharaoh. That's it. That's it." And all of this could be over. But he endured 10 plagues, right? So he wants to make his power known, and he's willing to show his wrath. But it says that he endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. Meaning the Lord is willing to deal with all of the nasty, disgusting things that our oppressor has done. He's waiting for a time to show his destruction. Right. Like, you don't think the Most High, like that's part of what we're talking about today. The Most High could snap his finger and say, "Hey, to hell with the white man, put him to death. No more white people exist." He could do that if he wanted to. He could. Listen, don't think that you serve some sort of inanimate object. Like this isn't Christianity or Islam. Right. We don't serve a rock. We don't serve some sort of cross. We don't serve that. We're serving a living power. He could, if he would like to, he could snap his finger and say, "You know what? To hell with the white man. Put him to death. That's it. No more white people exist ever." He could do that. But what we're seeing here in the book of Romans 9 and 22, it says that he is going to endure long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. You have something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was like the Most High likes to bring you down when you're at your highest, where your ego is so high that you think that you're so great. Like our oppressor, he's created this space because he think in his mind that he can fight the Most High. He can fight the angels.
Yeah. So before you got here, what's funny? You can keep going, but before you got here, what's funny is we was talking about in the book of Revelation where it say that these people are going to try to fight Christ. That's how much pride they got. How much pride do it take for you to You know this is Jesus Christ coming back with this legion of angels, this black man popping out of the sky. Are you gonna fight him? You're gonna go against him? You're not gonna bow down and say, okay, I submit to your authority. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna fight. That's how much pride they got. You gonna keep going, Ox. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You know, that's the amount of pride that they show. That's what the Most High really likes to like bring it down. That's what he did with Pharaoh.
Right.
Let Pharaoh's head get so high.
Yeah.
Then it's like, all right, now last plague, every firstborn dies.
Right.
Now at that point, when Pharaoh is brought low, that Pharaoh now is his destruction fully comes.
Right.
But until then, you know, Most High, he'll let you get your head up. He'll let you get all prideful. It's then where, you know, that downfall is just so much more. Because now you're like, this person was this high.
Right.
These people, they had this much control over the world.
Right.
That's Isaiah 14 in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Right? How is this great nation falling? This nation was so great. How did it fall so fast? Right? You have something?
If I could, sir.
Go ahead.
Salagia, you know, to build on what the officer is saying and to build on what you laid down already, what's crazy is like it's the Most High absolutely can snap his fingers, and we know based on the book of Obadiah, he has already snapped his damn fingers.
Mm-hmm.
The echo of the sound of his finger snap just hasn't touched earth yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because when that happens, they will cease to exist. And the
Right.
crazy thing is, they're so like the pride in their heart is so strong that although we have served them for hundreds of years, and we know in the UPK thousands of years, based on the Romans and the Greeks, and now in the United Rates of America, we know that their pride is so strong, they absolutely will not bow down to a nigger.
No,
there's no way. If it's Jesus Christ himself, literally, there's no way that they're bowing down to a nigger.
Yeah.
They will fight the Son of the Most High Power.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yikes.
You got to understand that. Like, even in the book of Obadiah, it tells our it's damn near like when we said that this Bible is not for white people, we almost damn near can't say that, because white people should read this, and they should read the book of Obadiah, where it prophesies against Mount Seir and says, your pride in your heart has deceived you. Mm-hmm. Like, your pride has made you think that you can build all of these skyscrapers and all of these things, and you can just make yourself be a god in the earth. But the Lord is going to come and he's going to destroy that pride that you have. Right. Your pride has deceived you. Right. It's something that's just, you know, when your pride deceives you, it's like you thinking you're bigger than what you are. You know, you walking up, you like a little skinny, scrawny brother, you're walking up to a bodybuilder thinking you can whoop his ass. Yeah. You can't. He's going to fold you up into pieces, and that's what the Most High is going to do. He's going to send Christ to absolutely and utterly destroy this place and many places like it. And there's nothing that you're going to be able to do besides what? Fight back? But you're going to be with it. Listen, the white man going to be windmilling. They just going, y'all know windmilling, you know? When you don't know how to fight for real, but you just throwing your bows. Yep. That's it. That's what the white man going to be doing, because there's nothing he could do about it. Yep. But he's going to have to try to fight back. Yep. So I don't blame him for that, but that's what the book of Revelation talk about. Yep. It talks about them fighting, you know, they just shot in the dark. They're doing what they can. You have something? Go ahead.
Sir, to build on what you said, you know, we know the scriptures say talks about how cold and austere Christ is, especially when he comes back, and how much judgment he's going to be dealing out with that damn sword. It's going to be real messed up when everything has been peaceful for a few months, and he just walk up to like pregnant nursing or a nursing Caucasian broad, or I should say Edomite, nursing Edomite broad, just punch her in her damn face and knock her entire jaw off, and we're all looking like, oh snap. Oh
yeah, you gotta think about, like, even the book of Psalms when it talks about, you know, happy shall he be. Like Psalms 137 is something that I always go to. Happy shall he be that dashes thy little ones against the stones. Like it's tough. You gotta understand that the Most High is not playing. When he sends Christ, like Christ has been waiting for 2,000 years to come back. Hey, I don't know, you know, maybe he'll wait another 2,000 years, maybe he'll come back tonight. But what I can tell you is that the Most High is putting a hold on Christ's return, and Christ is pacing back and forth, waiting to come back to this place to fulfill what these scriptures is talking about. Right. When I go into the book of Isaiah is my favorite book in the Bible because it talks about so many prophetic things that are going to happen when Christ returns. And what you're talking about ain't wrong. That's in there. That's in the book of Isaiah. You understand? And that's just something that we have to like. So now, once again, coming back to the topic of the class, we have to hold on to that. Because if we hold on to, damn, black people are destroyed. Damn, black people are on drugs and on child support and can't afford this and can't afford that, we'll just remain in that state.
Right.
I always, when I have these classes, what I always do is I always have a solution at the end of the class. I talk about the bad things because we have to talk about it. You have to address the things that are wrong with our community, but we have to have a solution for it. Imagine if I just sat up here for 2 hours and just talked about everything that's wrong with black people. It would be a terrible class because you're not learning anything other than what you already know. But what's the solution? What's the solution? What can we do to take ourselves out of this position and really understand what the plan of the Most High is? If I just talked about the negative things, you would just hate God coming out of this class today. You'd be like, damn, I don't want to serve that guy. He's a terrible person. He just wants me to suffer. Let's find out what the Most High wants for us. So now, remember, we're talking about the destruction of the other nations, how they are able to, thrive and prosper in America, but how they're still going to face their punishment and their judgment, right? Let's go to Revelation 18. Revelation 18. We're going to close out in just a second. Just a minute. Revelation 18 and 2.
Book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
So what is this talking about? Has this happened yet? This has happened. This is already, we are in this state of Babylon that has already fallen. Go ahead. You got something?
Birds, as you know, if you black, birds are so insignificant to us that even if we raise them, we still end up eating them.
Mm-hmm.
So the foul birds are the other nations specifically eat them. Mm-hmm. And when the foul ones in specific would be like the police that enjoy oppressing black people and just murdering them for no damn reason.
So what does it mean when it says that Babylon the Great is the habitation of every foul bird? What is this talking about?
So it means this is where they live.
Exactly. This is the home, America is the home of murderers. It's the home of all manner of wickedness. And so why is this so? Go ahead.
As a matter of fact, sir, just like that goddamn national anthem, to build on what you just said.
Yeah, for sure.
The land of the free.
And the home of the brave. Yeah.
The home of the brave, that their emblem is that goddamn eagle. They all think that they're goddamn free eagles. Mm-hmm. You ask them their to their face, what is freedom to you? And they say, they might start with to do whatever you want. And it's even if it's end the life of someone else for no damn reason. And they'll continue in their pride. And, well, it depends. Shit. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to think about it. America is built on that. Like Amber Geiger got 8 years for murdering. Imagine if I walked into imagine if I walked into somebody's house and just put a bullet in their head. I could lie and I could say, well, I thought it was my house. I'm still going to jail for life. Amber Geiger got 8 years for that, for murdering Botham Jean. He's the brother eating ice cream, trying to enjoy the little bit of peace he got. That shit hurt my heart. He's trying to enjoy the little bit of peace that he got eating ice cream on his couch. Can you listen, brother? No, you listen. If you had a long day of work and you come home and you got a tub of ice cream on your lap, you've had a tough day, all right? And that brother had a tub of ice cream on his lap, eating ice cream, and some nasty, disgusting white devil broad comes into his house and puts a bullet in his head for nothing, and then she lies to the police and says, "Oh, I thought it was my house," and then she gets 8 years for that. America is not the land of the free or of the just. America is the land of the absolutely most disgusting race of people on this planet. That's what America is the home of. America is the home of that. This place is the most disgusting place that you could imagine. I couldn't write a comic book on this place. I couldn't write a novel on this place because this is the most disgusting place. A human mind couldn't come up with this. You'd have to be a beast. And that's, I know where you're going. And that's who came up with the construct of America is a beast. You had something?
I was going to say, just the immigration situation, just how horrible this, the oppressor's justice system is, that I believe she's already put in an appeal to serve lesser time.
Yeah, wow. she's gonna only do like, and from now probably like 2 more years to be out.
Yeah. So she's not even served the full 8 years.
Yeah.
That plus she has the whole brother hugging her, the family being at peace with her, and things like that. Mm-hmm. That gives her that makes them say, okay, she's learned the lesson that the family's not afraid of her, this and that. It makes her it made the appeal that much stronger.
Right.
And it just shows, like I said, like the hatred. Like I said, since that happened, if you say you love me and you love the person that killed me, just tell me now that you hate me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't go in and say, well, we accept the apology for whoever oppressor ended my life. Because that just shows that you don't really love me.
Well,
never
for sure.
That would never come out your mouth.
Right. And so like let's reel it back into Joel the 21st chapter, right? Let's understand something. Why is it that she got 8 years instead of anybody else walking? Listen, I know brothers that have walked into a house and put somebody to death that are behind bars for life. So why is it that she got only 8 years? Like, what's that about?
It's about race. That's actual racism.
Mm-hmm.
That's about loving your own. And the same thing is going to happen in the kingdom of Christ when our young ones commit something that they would consider to be atrocious, but because we love our own, it's going to be really amazing when little Razan Jr. goes and offs a couple of Edomites at a grocery store because he didn't get taken to a dance. And he gets taken to court by the Edomite family.
Razan's kids are going to be taken to them dances. Okay. They going to them dances.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a problem. Listen. Razan's kids is not going to have that problem. I'm just putting a disclaimer out.
Yeah, come on.
I'm putting a disclaimer out. Razan's kids is getting them sisters.
Yeah.
All right. But go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, you're right, sir. Damn right. But it's going to be really amazing in that day when we're alive to see. Well, yeah, he did off like 16 Edomites, and that wasn't right. But he only got probation for 3 months, and then he'll be fine.
Well, you gotta think about. Okay, like once again, like in the book of Proverbs, I mentioned this earlier, like when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yep.
You have to understand righteous rulership and wicked rulership. Like Brock Turner got probation for outright. Can I say that on the thing? I don't know if I can say it on the line.
Great.
I'm not doing that. For sexually assaulting a woman. I can't say the grape thing, that's weird. Right. But for sexually assaulting a woman, he got probation for that. Yeah, behind a dumpster like at prom or something like that. He got. Now listen, of course we don't condone any sort of forcing yourself on anybody, no matter what, in any circumstance. I don't understand how America can say that this is wrong and then charge a black man 14, 15 years for that same offense and then charge a white man nothing for that offense. I don't understand it. But what the problem is that it's systemic racism, but we have to understand all of it's wrong, but let's make it wrong across the board. Let's say, listen, a white man should say, you know what? A white judge should say, Brock Turner, he should go to jail for that. The same way that black man went to jail for that, he should go to jail for that. Right. 14 years, 15 years, whatever the case. I mean, in our kingdom, you put your hands on a woman, it's death. It's death. You understand? And that's going to be the same thing. We're not going to allow that. So point being, we got to understand the way that our oppressor has this place set up is it's fit to his own desires. So that's why you have Jeffrey Epstein, right? And his little island where he was touching all them kids, and all of the famous people. Listen, that's not a conspiracy theory. I hope y'all don't understand that. It's not like a fake thing that was happening. It was really famous celebrities that are still not locked up. They were touching them kids over there on that island. That whole so-called like that pizza party thing that they was talking about, Pizzagate, right? These people that are in high places, that's why Romans talks about that, right? That's why Paul talks about that. These people that are in high places, they are touching these kids and getting away with it. This is America. That's what America is. You are up against an enemy that in carnality is extremely hard to fight, but in spirituality, you have the upper hand. That's why we pray the curses. That's why we pray what we pray every Sabbath service, and we pray our curses. We curse this place for those types of things. You have something?
If I could, go ahead. The Romans, don't forget, these Caucasians are the ones that instituted justice the way they see it fit. Whereas if you fight right now on the street, you're going to jail for disorderly conduct. If there's a goddamn camera there and people pay to see it, now you have the boxing arena.
Yeah.
If you have intercourse in public right now, you're going to prison.
Yeah.
You're going to be on a registry as an offender forever. But if there's a goddamn camera there and people pay to see it, now you have pornography.
So now what does that tell you about America?
It is the home of every disgusting and foul bird.
There we go. Let's get back to it. Let's keep reading.
It's a lot. Boom. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy.
What is this talking about? This is talking about, go ahead.
Salagia, sir. It's talking about how rich evil bastards can get by participating in their evil, whereas they're all feasting on us. They're all getting rich. These bastards at the end of this plaza right here are making all of the money, and who's going in there? Young, beautiful black women. Young, beautiful black women and young, strong brothers. They know what they're doing. In addition to that, all of the wickedness that they do, and mind you, it's sin. They're selling things that condone and promote sin. That's a smoke shop.
Right.
The Most High said we're not supposed to be smoking any goddamn thing. So like I get zealous.
Get zealous. Go ahead.
In addition to that, the other crap that they do, not just pornography, but selling drugs in general. We know that Nancy and Ronald Reagan were the trap king and queen.
For sure.
They started this internal warfare that black men and black women, when I say black, Latino, and Native American, black men and women have against each other was started by them, promoted by them, and what's the other P word that means continued by them? Perpetuated by them. Started, promoted, and perpetuated by them. And it's been perfected by them to the extent where it's like they can remove their hand now. Now a sister knows you have a baby, you got child support, you got women in crisis, you got cash assistance, you can take him to court and divorce him, you can get alimony. A brother knows, well, shoot, if that's the case, if I just beat it down and just leave and she never learns my name, well, that's the way to handle that. I got what I wanted and I can leave. This thing that they've done to us, this is the other nations have drunk. And what do? They make money on it from the cradle to the grave. Yeah. When we're born, we have before that black man or woman gets out of the womb, there's something called abortion. They stately sanction and make money off of us killing each other.
Right.
Whereas the baby's body parts, they got a black woman thinking so stupidly, like this infant, though it has not come through the womb, is not a human. It's not a human yet. It's a fish. And then they chop the baby up, sell the body parts. The baby's born. They got us so destroyed that now, although the baby's born, now the mother and father think, well, even though we have children or a child, that doesn't mean that we should stay together. Just because we have a child, perpetuating selfishness.
So what is that? So what is that? What's the symbolism in that? What's that about?
That is exactly what we just read.
What is it though?
This is Salakia. That is because every nation benefits. That's
Right.
every nation participating off of the delicacy and getting drunk
Right.
with our blood.
So that directly goes with what? Psalm 83, right?
Damn right.
It goes like that's why we pray that every Sabbath service, and
Yeah.
as much as we can possibly, because what you're talking about is literally, think about it. That's life for us. This is like, that's what we deal with every day. Most people will decide to numb themselves. They get drunk, they get high, or they'll just not think about it at all.
Concert.
And that's not on their mind. The thing that you just said is reality in America.
Concert.
However, most of us will not think about it at all because it's more comfortable to think about, oh, I got money in my pocket, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
Most people will think about life like that, not thinking about the things that affects their community, not thinking about the things that affects them personally. They don't even realize it. You got something?
Jonathan, I was going to say, Adam, what the brother was saying, I'm saying, especially with this version of the fornication and the abundance of her delicacies, you know what I'm saying? We also have to look at, the gentrification that goes on in the neighborhoods where they make so much money off of us for instance, for example, when I was living in Tucson, I was living in South Tucson, which is a bad area. But the last 10 years I was living out there, it transformed. Now they added the soft market, they added a Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Then came Harkins Theater. Then came Dave & Buster's. Now, and that one little market, all these places are building all these new businesses, right?
Right.
So now where the rent there used to be about $500, now left, my rent was going to go from $800 to $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
For the same apartment that I stayed at, which I got stuff to do with the drug addicts and everything like that, the homeless people. But now I got to pay $1,000 for what?
You know what's funny? Let me ask you this question. Did they upgrade your appliances?
Nope.
Did they do anything to better the property?
No.
So $200 for what? Because they can. This is what we have to understand this about our oppressor. He is our adversary.
That's right.
Since the time of Adam and Eve, our oppressor has been our oppressor. He has oppressed us since that time.
Right.
We have to understand that. He's going to raise your rent $200. Listen, my father, let me see, 10, how old am I? About 12 years ago, moved into a spot, right? He was paying like $600 a month. Today, for the same spot, same appliances, same amenities, he's paying double that. No, not double. I'm tripping. He's damn near. Let me see. So double 600 is $1,200. He paying more than that. He paying like $1,500 for the same spot that he was getting. You gotta understand. Now, why are they raising the price? Because they can. This is the white man's America. Y'all gotta understand that. This ain't like we don't make the rules here. Once again, when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. So what better way to make the people mourn than say, hey, I'm gonna raise your rent $300, and then next year I'm gonna raise it another $300. Like, what are you talking about? Same thing I got the same fridge, same washer, dryer, same everything, but I'm gonna raise your rent $300. What are you talking about? The property that we living on is the same. Point being is everybody is being. You have to understand something about America. This place is the same as Babylon was in times past. When you go back and you look at Babylon, you're going to realize that the same thing that they was doing to us back then, it's the same thing they're doing here. The only, and I always stress this, the only difference is that back in the time of Babylon, when you had Daniel and all of them, we still knew we was Israel. There wasn't nobody doing flyer missions to go out, you know what I mean, and tell, hey, you an Israelite, you're not an African American, you're not a Babylonian. No, the Babylonians told us, y'all not us, because the Babylonians was Hamites, and they was like, no, y'all not us, y'all are Israelites, y'all them cats that worship that Yahweh, right?
Yeah.
But now the only difference is They say, y'all are black. So we lumped in with every other dark-skinned race, when in actuality, we got to go out and teach our people. That's the only difference, right? But besides that, it's the same thing. They still tell us to serve another God, and we do it. We go out and serve the other God, whatever God. Listen, out of all of our tribes, we still serve whatever God that's not the Most High God. So we'll serve for us as black people, we'll serve Caesar Borgia, right? That white Jesus, we'll serve that. For our so-called Hispanic tribes, we'll serve the Mother Mary, right? Which is that white woman. You understand? We'll do that. Why? It's the same thing. Same thing we was dealing with in the time of the Babylonian captivity. Let's finish this out real quick. Let's get we got a lot more to read. Let's try to get through it. So we're in Revelation 18. Let's get verse 2.
Verse 2, sir?
Yeah, start at verse 2.
Book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
All right, that's what we were just talking about. Go ahead.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
That's talking about the influence that America has had. Remember, America is the youngest so-called nation, right?
Right.
But it has the most influence.
Right.
America became a superpower in 200 years. Russia was a nation, or the USSR, whatever you want to call it. There was a nation for hundreds of years before they became what would be so-called a superpower.
Right.
America did it in 200 years. This is what this scripture is talking about. And this scripture was written 2,000 years ago. 1,500 years before America became a country, right? Or a united front, right? Keep going.
And I heard another voice from the heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
That's the point that we got to get to today, right? The point is we got to come out of the American customs, right?
Right.
We have to come out of the American customs. Why? This is the voice of an angel telling you that. This ain't me saying that. That's not Kabbalah saying that. That's what the voice of the angel told John.
Right.
Come out of her, my people.
Right.
That ye be what? Go ahead, read that.
That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Guess
what? If you decide to stay in your American custody, you want to be comfortable in America, do that. I'm not Nehemiah. I'm not gonna grab you by your by your beard. I'm not gonna grab you by your hair. You understand? I'm not gonna do none of that. Listen. All I gotta do is just tell you the truth. That's what I've been ordained to do. If you want to continue in America's ways, just understand something. All I'm gonna do is say the same thing that this angel said. Come out of America. Right. That ye be what?
Not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague.
That's a 1 and a 2 part, right? So 1, that you be not partakers of her sins, and 2, that you don't get punished for the sins that you're going to commit being in this. But listen, it's extremely easy to partake in the sins of America.
Right.
America makes everything seem normal.
Right.
Being naked is normal. Sisters is wearing these bikinis. Brothers, listen, I talked about this last night, right? Brothers play basketball, skins and shirts.
Yep.
I just want y'all to understand something.
That's Roman.
You said what?
That's Roman.
That's Roman, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's literally Roman custom. Mm-hmm. Roman custom is to play sports naked. And what they do is they tell you, hey, instead of us having 2 different colored jerseys, how about this? How about one group of people, one group of brothers keep their shirt on, another group of brothers take their shirt off. That's weird, according to the Most High. But guess what? According to America, that's normal. That's like, oh, skins and shirts. That's normal. But the scriptures say that you can't show your nakedness. So we're not supposed to be showing our chest and our stomach, man or woman. But for some reason, America makes it normal to be in a bikini and to be skins and basketball. And that's normal. You got to understand something. The way that America has set this place up is it's really just it's another Rome. It's another Egypt. It's the same thing. And they don't have, going back to the topic, they don't have the same laws, statutes, and commandments. They don't. Who told the Romans not to be naked? Nobody. The Romans was tugging on each other's rods in the wrestling matches. That's history. You don't believe me? Go ahead and look it up. These guys was tugging on each other's rods in wrestling matches. We're not doing that in Israel. Why? Because the Lord told us, he gave us a specific set of laws. He didn't tell them Romans, listen, them Romans can do whatever the hell they want. Our oppressor can do whatever they want. They can be in them cats that out there wrestling right now. They got the little bodysuits with the brother. If I catch one of y'all brothers, if I catch one of y'all brothers in them little spandex suits, it's gonna be a problem. Because we're not doing that out here. Why? Because that's not our custom. You understand? Even when we go swimming, brothers got shirts on when they go swimming. Why does that seem so weird? Why? Because in America, it's like, yeah, men can have their shirts off and wear little, what do you call them, Speedos, and jump in the pool. That's normal in America. So what we're reading about here in Revelation, the 18th chapter, it's talking about the fact that America's customs is not our customs. It's different. You understand?
Right.
Let's keep reading real quick.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquity.
Right. The Most High is going to remember. You think that the Most High is not seeing what's happening in America? Like, you think the Most High is not looking at this and saying, damn, this place is jammed up. I got to say jammed up because I can't say what I want to say on camera. But this place is terrible. You got to understand that. You don't think the Most High, we think it's terrible. So you think the Most High is not looking at this place like, this place got to be destroyed.
Right.
Go ahead.
Although he is the author, and although he ordained it this be this way, he is still looking at it, knowing full well he is the cause for it. It's still effed up. It's effed all the way up. He's looking at it like, man, I did this the way I wanted it, but this needs to be destroyed. All of it. It all needs to be torn down and burned.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But let's get Zechariah the first chapter real quick. The only reason I'm saying kind of true is because the Lord didn't. Okay, y'all understand that in the time of in the time of our slavery, right? That the heathens they sexually assaulted our men, our women, and our children. Y'all know that, right? You think the Lord allowed that? All right, let's find. Yeah, of course. So let's find out why that happened, and let's realize that the Lord didn't okay that. He didn't say we could do that or anybody could do that, right? Zechariah 1:14.
Zechariah 1:14, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 14. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, cry thou, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy.
Now this is talking about now. Before we get to reading the rest of this, understand there are angels that are watching us day in and day out. Understand that. Y'all gotta wrap your minds around that, because a lot of people feel like they're alone and they do what they can and what they want. Understand that there are angels that watch us 24/7. The Lord, like the scripture said, the Lord discovereth your secret places. Whatever, you think you can hide in the back. We got a crawl space back here. You want to go in the crawl space. Think you can hide from the Most High. You can't. You understand? You can't. I want y'all to understand something about the way that the Most High works. He has a government of angels. Now, this angel is talking about, right? Says, I am jealous of Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. Keep reading, verse 15.
And I am very sore displeased with the heathen.
With who?
The heathen.
With the who?
With the heathen.
The Most High he's sending this message through an angel. The Most High is displeased with the heathen. Why? Keep going.
That are at ease.
Well, remember, the whole class that we're talking about today is the heathen being at ease. They can do whatever they want. They can listen. They can sit up and they can watch. I watch these documentaries and these movies sometimes, and I watch these white people just sit on their porch and just watch their kids play, and they got a swing in their front yard and a top. And I be like, God damn it. I be thinking like, God damn. Like it befuddles me to think that this race of people that the Most High hates, he's expressed it multiple times in his Bible, but somehow he allows them to watch their children grow up. Black people in America are going to, just like that, we're going to see our children turn from a 1-year-old to a 10-year-old, and then from a 10-year-old to a 20-year-old.
Yep.
That's because we're just that's how our lives are panned out, right? You have something?
If I could build on what you're saying, so the scripture said, the angels say that the Most High is very sore displeased at the heathen that are at ease. I never before have I seen this scripture, and it explains to me why I get angry when Caucasians ask me how my weekend was, and when they smile.
Right.
People don't understand how serious I am when I say I'm offended by every Caucasian smile I see, because I know what the reason that they're able to be happy and smile and enjoy life at all is because of the wicked that their forefathers have done, and that they benefit from, and they perpetuate to this damn day. And then they ask you, descendants of slaves, how was your weekend? That's an insult. It's like saying, you enjoy being a slave? You get your behind whooped by a cop? Good.
Yeah. And you got to understand, like, that's in their brain is hardwired to be that way. To be like, well, black people are equal because they've had the same chance that my father had to start Intel or to come up with Apple or to come up with Google. They had the same opportunity. That's what they'll think in their mind because they're so ignorant. Let's keep reading, right? So it says, so the Most High is very displeased with the heathen that are at ease. This is all we've been talking about today, right? Keep going.
And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
They did what?
They helped forward the affliction.
Now, y'all got to understand something about what this is talking about. This is talking about the fact that the heathen took it too far. Do you think that the Lord wanted our brothers to be buck broken in the time of slavery? You think he was just like, yeah, let's do that? You think that's the correction that we needed? No. One thing that happens, I always bring it back to the Most High being a father. If your father kicks you out the house, whatever happens to you outside that house is what happens to you. Now, what I would like, let's say I got some sons or some daughters and I kick them out of my house because they have been terrible at obeying my instructions.
Right.
Do I want them to get murdered? Do I want them to be, I can't say the words that I want to say because of this thing. Right. Do I want them to be assaulted? Do I want them to be I can't say, like I said.
If you want someone to force themselves on your
right, exactly. Do I want that? So if it happens, is it something that I ordained? So what is the Most High saying?
That was too far.
They went too far.
The
heathen are what? A vessel of what?
Slavic?
The heathen are a vessel of what to the Israelites? A vessel of destruction to the Israelites. So we had to go through some of the things that we had to go through. Why? Because we disobeyed our father. But the Lord never ordained buck breaking. Wow. He never ordained what happened to our baby sisters and baby brothers to them alligators. Right? Now keep reading. Let's finish off. We gotta go.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts.
So now what are we talking about? Remember, I tell y'all this. We got a problem. We was in Job, the 21st chapter, and the problem is why do the other nations get away with so much? They get to do whatever they want to do. Why are we the ones being punished and we trying to be righteous? And guess what? This is the solution. Not only is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments the solution, but here is the end game. And this is what we're in this for. We're in this for the end game. The end game is what? Therefore, thus saith the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with what? With mercies. With mercies. The Lord is going to... Hey, one thing that I always pray for, I'll give y'all it's damn near like a cheat code. When I pray every day, and I pray for mercy because I know I don't deserve it. I know that the things that I've done in my life before I came into the truth, I don't deserve mercy for. So I pray for it. And all of us should do the same thing. Before we came into the truth, we were all evil. We were all terribly evil in the sight of the Most High. I pray for mercy every day because Christ died Christ died so that way we could have a second chance at life. We ain't got to die. We could live. The least we could do is pray for mercy from the Most High, right? So I do that every single day. And this is what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? For I was a little, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies, right? Go ahead.
My house shall be built in it.
The Lord, remember, the Lord is going to come back to us. Don't forget, this is what we're dealing with right now. We in the time of our affliction. This is a time where we're going to be persecuted. Christ was persecuted. You think we better than Christ? Christ was in the time of the Roman occupation. The Roman occupation of Jerusalem. Christ couldn't even go to the temple like he wanted to. He had to die. How much better are we? We're in here. We got, listen, ain't no Romans. Listen, no white man is coming into this classroom and telling anybody to do anything. When the police come here, where do they go? Right out front of that door. Out there. They don't get to come here. We got more liberty than Christ had. So what are we talking about? Our second chance is better than the only chance that Christ had. And Christ died to make sure that we could have this second chance. So we better hold on to this thing. We better hold on to it. Otherwise, Christ talked about people that won't hold on to the second chance that he gave you. He'll say, he'll either say, well done, my good and faithful servant, or he'll say, depart from me, I never knew you, you worker of iniquity. Right? Keep reading.
My house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Cry yet, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity.
Through what?
My cities through prosperity.
My cities, the Most High cities through prosperity. We'll go ahead. Shall
yet be spread abroad,
and
the Lord shall yet comfort Zion, and shall yet choose Jerusalem.
That was given to the prophet Zechariah. Now this sounds eerily similar to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, right? The Most High is yet going to have mercy on the children of Israel and will choose Jacob. It's the same thing. This is throughout the Bible. Y'all got to understand something. The Most High, he's making us go through all of these things. And even at the time of Zechariah and at the time of Isaiah, you realize them brothers wasn't in Jerusalem. Y'all know that? Zechariah and Isaiah were in captivity at that time that this prophecy was given. Y'all know that? Here we are in America today. The same prophecy is being spread abroad. So what does that mean for us? I mean, we got to be prepared just like these brothers were prepared. We got to be on the same mindset of these brothers. Sometimes people read the Bible and they look at it like some sort of ancient book, which it is, but they look at it as just that. This is a living book. This prophecy that we're reading right now in Zechariah, the first chapter, is something that applies to us today. And we got to look at it just like that. If we don't look at it just like that, you know what the problem is? We're going to be just like the Christians. They're waiting on something that's never going to happen. Right. Why? Because they're waiting on Christ to come back and give everybody a hug. Well, Zechariah talks about Christ returning and putting the other nations in subjection to us. A lot of times, we don't look at that like as a people. So we sit and we say we waiting on Christ and all of that. We don't even realize what Christ is coming back for. We got to understand what life in America is about. This is just a test. This ain't nothing compared to what the Most High is going to bring to us. You have something?
Sir.
You have something? All right, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out. Close out with the prayers. I mind you, which means to stand. Find out what done. Turn to face the east. All right, we're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamkar, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'at, Ratzazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ratzazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Bathalanawa, Bakam, Bakal Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawabatnawa, Wasalaknawa, Kawabatinawa, Mala'ah, Tabayanawa, Malasawan, Bagal, Awashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa Allah, Atha Parath, Rawalamyam, Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. We're going to read the Akak or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Yeah, it's like a Bashem Yahushai, Babu Kushai, Bathalanawa Akak, Hakat Larapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Kal Madawa, Hakat Latahar, Hamat Zarayim, Hakat Lakwayam, Hamathium, Hakat, Al Rakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shun, Bashem Yahushai, the Wadaman. In English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. And the power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Ratzaza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, it's like Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yaminka, Yawamam, Hashemah, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Adnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wabak, Waka, Ma'aitha, I will Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharim shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. All right, we're going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter in Hebrew. Alahayo, Aldam Yalaka, Al Takarash, Al Tashakwat, Al Kayahana, Awayabika, Yamayawan, Ra'ash, Alamaka, Yarayamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashalam, I would die, Kaya. Now what I Yep, slug it. Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Barya, Yakarathwa, Ahalya, Adawam, Washma Aliyah, Mawa'aba, Wagarya, Gabal, Wama1, Wama Lak, Hadashad, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Kamashawar, Nawa, Imam, Ayawa, Sawai, Labanyula Wat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabyan, Mayakal, Koyash 1, Ashamadwa, Bayan, Nara, Hayawa, Daman, La'arama, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Ka'ira, Kaza'aba, Kazabaka, Katazal, Mana'ai, Call, Messiah Kamwa,
Messiah Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Lamar,
Leah Rashad,
Leah Rashad,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Na'ath, Na'awat,
Nawat,
Alahayim,
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 Shaya Thamwa,
Shaya-Thamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Rakah,
Lapanya Rakah,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Dava Ira,
Ira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakala Haba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Harayam,
Harayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Varadama,
Varadama,
Masa Iraka,
Masa Iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapatha,
Dava Alam,
Tabahalam,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Apollo 1,
Apollo 1,
Weba Kwashwa,
Weba-Kwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Weba Hawa,
Weba-Hawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wekaparwa,
Wekaparwa,
Weabadwa,
Weabadwa,
Weda Iwa,
Yedaiwa,
Kayatha,
Kayatha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Akar,
Akar,
Arazah.
Arazah.
All right, we're going to read those same verses. Psalms, the 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee are lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy
And
people.
consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of Yahshua
Maybe no more remembrance.
Maybe no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gebal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The
The
Philistines.
Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to
At
Jabin.
the brook of
The
Kisan.
brook of Kisan.
Which perished that endured.
Which perished that endured.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Made their nobles like a red.
And like Zair.
And like Zaeb.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
All their princes as Zabah.
And as Amunah.
And as
Who
Amunah.
said,
Who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of God
the houses of
in
God
possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high over all the earth.
I'm going to read the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Ma'ika Allah.
Wa Ma'ika Allah.
Wa Lahayim.
Wa Lahayim.
Matazab Yah.
Matazab Yah.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Allah Wap Yahana.
Allah Wap Yah.
Allah Wap Yah.
Asaranyo.
Asaranyo.
Akatazayanyo.
Akatazayanyo.
Akwaya Yoyo.
Akaya Yoyo.
Slaki Wahab Watya.
Wahab Watya.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Waraman. In English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Y'all can be seated. Yeshabim. Any brother that would like to be anointed, you can step up. I got it. Y'all know the drill. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this prayer. I'll point to you. You say your name. We'll repeat it 3 times. All right. Yabaraki Yahweh Waya Shamarka, Ya Ar Yahweh Pan Yahweh Alyaka, Waya Kunka, Yasha Ar Yahweh Pan Yahweh Alyaka, Waya Shamlaka, Shalom, Yahweh Ba Sham Yahweh Shai, Barak, Rapa Magun, Hagun,
Yawasab.
Yawasap,
Yawasab.
Yawasap,
Yawasab.
Yawasap,
Razan.
Razan,
Razan.
Razan,
Razan.
Razan,
Kabarama.
Kabarama,
Kabarama.
Kabarama,
Kabarama.
Kabarama, Ba Sham Yahweh Shai, Thawadamun. Clap it up for brother. All right, all we just said was in the book of Numbers, the 6th chapter, verses 22 through 27, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh in the name of Yahweh shall bless, heal, shield, and protect these three brothers. Sis, would you like to be on it? No sweat. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close out the class. Men of Israel Majim just means the same. Men of Israel Majim Shabbat. Imagine, right? Side towards the sister. Sister, we're just gonna give you a courtesy salute for the to close out the Sabbath service. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine, right? What we just said is Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, which means Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai bless, or excuse me, protect you or watch over you. All right. With that being said, Yahweh Matah, dismissed.